Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the free-to-play account and we continue our progression within the Ghoulish Gallery, guys. Now overall, it seems like this game mode, not only have they kind of reworked it a little bit, we're seeing some adjustments, we're seeing some free artifacts in there, in addition, or collections in there, whatever you want to call them. But in addition, as you can see, we are already in floor 10 with invisibility 10. It seems like they have also made this game mode a lot easier than we originally ran through this over on the test server. And even looking here, guys, some of the heroes that I'm seeing that are super powerful in here, one, Mahira, works incredibly well within this game mode. Also looking at Leica and also looking at the combination of Zolrath, I've cleared this out very easy. Now you do have to pay attention, guys, because we have all of these buffs right here in the top. You have to make sure that you're using the buffs that are very pertinent to the heroes that you're running in here. That is going to make a very big difference in here. Essentially, if you're getting a bunch of buffs in here, again, that really don't make a difference to the team specifically that you're running, you're not going to have the ability to make progression in here. So again, it seems like it is a little bit easier. So there we go. So we got buffer, and I think that is it, guys. So as you can see, we got a ton of abilities, an absolute ton of abilities in here. Now in this one, we were actually running through and looking for this specific one. Due to the plunder effect, you have acquired new abilities, so it did give us bonuses in there. And as you can see, the spell bondage is the one that we were looking for in here. Now I'm going to hop over in a couple minutes, guys. I want to go through Ciro's guide and the general kind of overlook on what he's doing and what he is working on, because guys, it takes a ton of time and effort in there. Right here, we're going to put buffer on here, so this is going to be really strong. Now what I've noticed is when you're building out these artifacts is I am building this one out for Vithiel. So I have a hero in mind, and based on the abilities that that hero does have is the way that I really do want to build them out. Again, just kind of thinking in the hero itself. So looking at the healing ability, overall not super effective in the healing. And the dissolve ability, again, shorten the negative effects. Now the tenacity, of course, going to be a little bit of the crowd control. Now the full buffer, the buffer of all heroes in the formation is increased. So I'm going to do buffer in here. And again, I'm just kind of playing around with this, and I'm going to do full buffer because we know Vithiel has some pretty strong buffs. So I'm going to go with the triple buffer in there for the spellbound, just based on Vithiel's abilities. Now looking here, guys, we have erosion, which again, the 15.77, that is pretty strong. But now I'm wondering too, full attack. Now this, of course, all heroes in the formation increase. I don't know if this is going to go hand in hand with the ability to actually buff up the entire team with the buffer ability. Again, there's so much testing that has to be on here. And then of course, insight, this is the difference for the overall crowd control. Now again, this is going to make a big difference when you're running him, I believe, in the PvP aspects, just because of the way that he is built. Now, Magic Pierce. Now, this one is kind of interesting because I'm not 100% sure if, again, building for the hero, building this for Vithiel, if the Magic Pierce is going to make a difference. I don't think he has Magical Pierce, or he utilizes Magical Pierce. So I'm going to drop Insight on here. And then, of course, this one, guys, I'm going to go skill level +1. Now, on the other video we did where we did both of these, we actually did skill level +2. So I added 2 of these in here, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop that one in there. And this is what we're going to create, guys. So the spell bond, boom, the collection will go in there. And ultimately, it seems like with a lot of the collections, depending on what you get out of the game mode is going to make a big difference. So while the shield is active, the target's attack rating and defense rating are reduced by 20 and 20% respectively. So thinking again, free to play, we built out Vithiel quite a bit, but having the ability to actually go in here and build out or utilize the one that we just used. This is the one they gave us for free. This is the one I just built, guys. I'm going to go ahead and gear him up. So again, we're going to have to see what the difference in here between. Now, of course, looking at a signature item, he has this godly physique that buffs all allies. So I'm wondering if, again, this buffer and this full buffer, I wish these were much higher, are going to make a difference when it comes to the abilities to actually buff him. The holder's buffer is increased by 26.23 points. Again, we're going to have to see the effectiveness in a lot of different game modes. But like I was saying, guys, I want to hop over. I want to check out Ciro's guide. So let's hop over with this Ghoulish Gallery and take a look at it. All right, guys, so here we have it. And again, a huge shout out to Ciro, guys. Definitely check out his YouTube channel right up there. But the collection priority by contribution margin, This is a very interesting and unique way to really break this up, but it works incredibly well. Now, again, when I'm thinking big picture, when you're thinking of like tier list, you can see he ranked all the heroes by numbers. So number one being Belinda, we have Liberta in there as number two. We have Baden in there, then looking at Leica, looking at Rem. Some of the biggest heroes that we're seeing within AFK Arena, of course, are going to get that top rank. Utility is through the roof on these heroes, and of course, all of the different game modes that they're using them. Now, the one thing that I want to look on, or what I want to focus on, guys, is this right here. So the completely untested gut feeling collections for top 20-ish heroes. And I love, again, how Zero absolutely puts this together, guys, because as you can see, looking and kind of breaking out these collections, you can see the effectiveness of what they're doing. Even looking here in the celerity class, the other collection doesn't seem super effective, which is why I believe he went Judgment Armor in here. You can see there's a mix in here between the Timeline Watch and also the Spell Bondage. And the big reason for that, guys, is when you look at Shimira, when you look at Kanisa and Rook, they are very heavy tanks, defensive focused. When you look at some of the other heroes, it's survivability, buffs, debuffs, things of that nature. That will work incredibly well. Now, looking at Rem and Amelia in here, even looking at Tamaris, Rem and Amelia, straight up damage dealers. You want to build them as strong as possible within formations, which again, Shadow Dancer absolutely is going to be the big one in there. When you look at Ulno, when you look at Jerome, even coming in here with the temporal cover, they are a lot more of the support role, even though, you know, Ulna's a warrior. They're still coming into a much stronger support role. Then we see them as a primary damage dealer. So the Oculus Diabolus, which is really cool, guys. Again, when you look at Belinda, when you look at Demia, really, really strong damage dealers. And of course, amplifying the damage that these heroes already do is going to make a big difference. And then the captive wings in there, those are the crowd control aspects. So looking at Matria, they could kind of go either way with Matria, but Amelia, absolutely the crowd control. Again, with Matria, the crowd control will make a big difference in there. And then, of course, Liberta, Trader's Vault, you can see Liberta, you can see that with Solus, you can see it with Palmer. Overall, Liberta, of course, doing an incredible amount of damage, but looking at really the effectiveness of bringing in the health potions in a multitude of ways, bringing the energy regeneration in there in a multitude of ways. Again, it's really cool how this is broken down, which is the reason why I did want to cover it, guys. And honestly, if you go through and you base on what you're building, so first of all, going through, again, kind of the list, you see we have Belinda up here right on the left side as hero number one. So Belinda right there, sorcery, the Oculus Diabolus or Diablois. That is the one. Essentially, you want to go in there and you're going to drop that on her. Once you go through and you're farming up additional ones, because remember, they gave us 10 free relics, guys, which means your top 10 heroes could probably get some of the relics again, depending on who they are. For instance, right here, for if we got both tanking relics, which we did, I would drop one on Shimira. I would drop one on Vithiel. Looking at the Might, one Shadow Dancer, one Temporal Cover is what we got. Looking here, the Oculus and the Captive Wings, Trader's Vault, Luminous Flight, and then, of course, the Judgment Armor. This is just what I would initially put on there. Now, remember, when you remove an artifact, you have to wait 24 hours, or you got to blow through some diamonds to actually go ahead and get those removed if you don't want to wait for that 24 hours. Another part I really hope that they do kind of change. And then, of course, down here, you can see there is quite a bit more of a breakdown when it comes to the heroes and when it comes to utility. He gives some methodology in here, guys. I'm going to put a link down to this guide below. But when you look, guys, when you look at the Cursed Realm, when you look at the Treasure Scramble, this is what he based the calculations on, which, again, super, super smart. The methodology behind it is solid. Because, again, when you look at a lot of, again, the tier list, when you look at a lot of utility-wise, it really makes a big difference in the game. I'm not so much specifically looking at, you know, heroes individually, but looking big picture, taking the numbers. And this is, again, how a lot of guides do break it down. Even the one that I utilize over on Discord, it is kind of similar where it does break it down kind of utility and the utilization of the heroes versus being the build themselves. So again, guys, big shout out for Zero. Definitely check out his YouTube channel up here, guys, youtube.com/@Zero_GT. Very, very cool. We know he also does the pet guide, which new pets are probably on the way. And I'm thinking holiday season or even coming into the new year. So again, big shout out to him. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.